How's it going, everyone? Boom Chanka, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little evening edizione of the transfer edizione for you. I hope you're all doing well. Just a transfer update, Manchester United daily rundown, evening news show. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all cracking. Let's see who's in here waiting for me to get going. Apologies, I'm late again. John O'Denton, G-Wolf United, Dean Flynn, Kayam Melter. Oh no. Mark Voot, Aaron Armstrong, Mr. YOLO Man, David Murphy, Jakes, Padiachi, Mr. Miyagi, Dean Flynn, No Bones Jones, Ryan Burberspin 9, Mr. Edwards, G-Wolf, Capuzzi will always return, Dean Flynn. Hello everyone, Mr. Edwards, thank you very much for stopping by and getting in here. Harvey Goddard, Ellie's in the gaff, how you doing Ellie? Steve Buckley, great to see you guys. Dylan Gill, Danny Atkins, Ruthless Sausage, Quan Jones, Palmerius, Dan Higg, Nick Pendragon, Paul Vanderbeek, Alan Rogers, Nikolai Lundqvist. How are you doing, lads and lasses? Thank you so much for joining us. Smash a thumbs up on the video if you have not done so already. And let's get into the evening's news then. So then, Manchester United. Oh my, it's still been a little bit of it's still a bit depressing, isn't it? Just still the feeling of depression after that bloody game. And not getting any new players in yet, still in this window other than Donny van der Beek is gashtastic. But look, finally it looks like we're going to get a bit of news here very soon. Because Alex Telles, the deal is progressing very, very nicely. There are talks between the two clubs undergoing at this moment in time. So we understand that that's going to be very, very soon in terms of a deal being struck up between the two clubs. It's being touted as around about 22 to 25 million euros at this moment in time. We've got a few little updates from a few journalists and things like that to look at, such as Fabrizio Romano just gave us an update, stuff that we were talking about earlier in the video anyway, where he said Manchester United and Porto are in talks also today for Telles. The player wants to leave and MUFC are negotiating also with his agents. Personal terms are not an issue. Price tag 20 million euros. Key week to decide Telles' future. PSG also looking for a left back. So that's just another little update from Fabrizio there, but to give you a bit more basis from our cheeky little Manchester United source that we've got, we're looking at somewhere in between 22-25 million euros for Alex Telles, and we expect that to happen in the next few days. There's not going to be an issue in terms of wages. Telles is going to be paid handsomely compared to the contract that he's on over at Porto. So at United, you know, we're going to pay him somewhere in the region of 75,000 euro or £1,000 a week to play for us, which is a pretty low amount of money for a player of his qualities when you consider the sort of stats that he's putting up and the experience that he's got in the game. Certainly when you compare it to people like Phil No Bones Jones on 130 grand a week with his pink Lambos, I'd say that it's a steal, it's a deal, it's the sale of the freaking century, lads and lasses, to get Alex Telles in for that sort of money. So I think, yeah, brilliant. 22 to 25 million euros. 75,000 pounds a week. That's what we're looking at the moment in time. Obviously, it will all remain to be seen what happens with the personal terms and the agents and what is filtered out into the media. But at this moment in time, we understand that the agreement is for £75,000 per week. So pretty cool, and it looks like this is all going to happen in the next few days. So just to give you a bit more information, of course, when that does happen, when the clubs do reach a full agreement, which we're expecting is going to be on the morrow, to be fair, because they're thrashing it out right now. And we're expecting it's going to be tomorrow. So if there is a deal that's in place tomorrow, then it will be a few days before United are able to actually sign him and unveil him, because he's going to have to fly in, have a medical. We're going to have to do all the paperwork, all that sort of stuff. But I don't think that there's going to be much problem with Manchester United agreeing this fee and this deal with Porto, simply based on the fact that Porto are aware that his contract's running out. They can cash in on him now and still have a little bit of time and money to get another replacement to come in and replace him. So makes a lot of sense for them to do the business as soon as possible, as opposed to waiting it out and waiting in this window. United, on the other hand, you know, we do know how we like to operate. That's my only concern. We've got some information to say that these negotiations are progressing pretty well. So that's why we're hoping that it's going to be in the next few days. But we do know what United are all about. We're all about slowing negotiations down. We're all about taking an absolute bloody age to get any sort of movement done in terms of the window. So if there is a delay on this one, it wouldn't really surprise me. Just because we should get it done in the next 2 days doesn't mean that our incompetent board of buffoons is going to be able to do that. No, so hopefully this is going to be the next few days. It would be brilliant if we could have something to celebrate in terms terms of a signing before that Brighton game. I'm not saying we're going to get him in there and have him ready to come in and feature in that Brighton game, but he's obviously got that match sharpness, so you never know. But if you could get him in here before then, that would just be brilliant. It would give everybody a boost. You know, Luke Shaw's been talking about it, saying that we need to get some players in for competition. I don't know if he necessarily thought in his position. That's the only thing, Luke Shaw. Can we get some players in for competition, please, guys? Yeah, we're signing Tellers to replace you. Oh, okay then. You know, he's had a bit of a mare there, but no. Tellers is going to come in. To be fair, you don't know how Solskjaer's going to use him. Luke Shaw's still got a very good place in the team anyway. He still is a good player. He's just not a great player, and certainly he doesn't seem to possess the sort of majestic ability to influence a game that Alex Tellers seems to have. We'll see if he's able to do that and replicate that over in the English Premier League, because he's been doing it in Porto, but he's been doing it very well. The amount of goals and assists that he created last season, 25 in 49 appearances. Pretty impressive stats for a left back, I think you would agree. I think it was 12 assists, 13 goals. So, okay, they're probably from the penalty spot and free kicks and things like that. I haven't really watched a whole bunch of him. But even so, that goes to show you the sort of level of ability he's got, and also the role that he was playing within that Porto team. He's going to be handy, somebody that can obviously take set pieces, corners, these sorts of stuff. It's good to have a whole bunch of these guys in. It's Mrs. P Cake Bandit. She says, have a great night, legends. Take care, everyone. Thank you for the super chat there, Mrs. P Cake Bandit. Everybody, please do stick a heart emoji and a cake emoji together, a heart and a cake, in the live chat for Mrs. P. She's not feeling too well at the moment, bless her. She's a bit down, so I hope she's feeling better anyway. Dan Smith says, Glazers out, out, out. Glazers out, out, out. I'm feeling you there, Dan Smith. I am. Ross Green says, Tellers, Upamecano and Jimenez, or just Sancho. Well, we're going to get into this a little bit in this video. But look, MUFC believe that Jadon Sancho is still for sale. United haven't given up yet, despite Borussia Dortmund's public stance. So obviously what Borussia Dortmund have come out and said effectively, let me just get you the information here. So the Dortmund's director, sporting director, Sebastian Kell, he has come out and basically insisted that Jadon Sancho will not join Manchester United this summer. Of course, we're trying to get this 20-year-old wonder kid. We're going to have to pay a lot of money for him, but 120 million is just too much money really to pay for something like Jadon Sancho, in my honest opinion. At this moment in time of what's going on, it's more like paying 150 million in a normal window. So it's a ridiculously preposterous amount of money. If you want your player, you got to pay the money. And as we all understand, at the start of this window, Solskjaer's number one priority this window was getting Jadon Sancho into the football club. And he tried to do that at the start of the window. Of course, the board held negotiations. The stumbling block was the money. It was the financing of it, and it was the money. That's still going to be the stumbling block. Dortmund aren't going to be willing to sell him for any much less than that 120 figure that we're talking about. So it really is on Manchester United now. But I've just got, I have got a feeling that maybe he still is the number one target for United, simply because Solskjaer was adamant. Solskjaer's been speaking to him for ages. In terms of the money, if it's at the end of the window, maybe United could shave a little bit off of that and Dortmund would consider selling him. But look, this doesn't necessarily look good, does it, when Dortmund's director's coming out? But he's not going to say, oh yeah, Jadon Sancho's off ski. Yeah, we're just waiting for €99 million offer and then Jadon's off. He's not going to say that. But, supporters of Dortmund there are pretty frustrated, it looks like, because they don't really know, and Manchester United. Man United and Dortmund supporters are pretty frustrated from what we're understanding here, because nobody knows if it's going to happen, if it's not going to happen. And that's just as much annoying for the Dortmund fans as it is for United fans when you think about it. If you're wondering whether your top player is going to go or not, and whether you're going to be able to replace and get somebody in to do the quality business that he was doing, is another question. So the sooner they get this done, the better in a lot of ways. Ryan Burberspin 9 with a super chat. That's so kind of you, Ryan. He comments, have a cheesecake on me, Nicola. Feel better, mate. Save pig a slice. Oh, that's so kind of you, Ryan Burberspin 9. You only gone and got Nicola a massive cheesecake there, bro. Hey, thank you so much for that, Ryan. You're a top lad. Cheers, dude. What a man. What a man. Mrs. P, is she still here? But either way, yeah, Jadon Sancho, this is what Kell had to say. The sporting director at Dortmund, he simply said, Jadon Sancho is our player and he will stay. It was an important statement from the club because we have a certain responsibility. Without Jadon, this team is weaker. So that basically sums it all up, really, doesn't it? The team's weaker without Jadon Sancho. Why the hell would Wade want to sell him if it wasn't for being compensated very, very well. Now, it's understood that Dortmund are willing to sell him for 120 million euros, which is around about 108 million pounds, which is a preposterous amount of money. But he is a generational talent, so this guy is going to be something special for the next decade. He's going to be one of the standout star performers of his generation. That's what that means. So whether it's your Kylian Mbappe's, your Mason Greenwoods, these sorts of guys, I think he's going to be a generational talent, just like they and hopefully Greenwood will be. So and Ronaldo and Messi and these guys. Now I'm not trying to compare it to Ronaldo and Messi, but if you actually do compare his stats to Ronaldo and Messi at his age, bear in mind he's only 20. He holds up very well, my friends. Now you can never say that he's going to go on and beat Ronaldo and Messi. That's just preposterous. But he's definitely a top player with top stats. And if you want a top player with top stats, you've got to pay top money. And Dortmund are not going to settle for that any less than that. But I've got a cheeky little feeling that Manchester United's board are going to get this deal done. I've just got a little feeling because there seems like there's a lot of tension building up here. United fans are pissed off with the board and the ownership and how this club is being run and the lack of investment in this window in particular. When we needed to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we needed to get the players in. Now we got Champions League football and we're left with a skeleton squad of melts. Which is crazy after we spent a bunch of money over the years as well. But that is the situation. A lot of these players are not good enough. Look at that back line. It's not good enough, even if it is hundreds of millions of pounds. It's not good enough. So we have to reassess. We have to readdress. We have to get new players in. And look, I've got a story here, which, as far as I'm aware, it is true. And that is that Ed Woodward has put his house up for sale in Cheshire. So Woodward puts his house up for sale. That's what I'm reading here. Manchester United CEO Ed Woodward put his house up for sale. The 5-bedroom property situated in Knutsford has been listed by Savills for a guide price of around £2 million. It's bloody bastard, eh? Living in a £2 million gaff. Bloody hell. Anyway, fair play to him, I suppose, but bloody hell. Many football fans will be familiar that this house was actually attacked by United fans in January. A group of supporters gathered around, obviously, Woodward's property, and they set off, flares and fireworks and all that sort of shite, and it was like an angry mob mentality. Now, that did seem to spark the signing of Bruno Fernandes. It was like an immediate reaction. People turned up at his house, set some fireworks off, and then the next day, pretty much, we're getting on the blower and getting the deal done for Bruno Fernandes. So I'm not saying that's the reason we did it, but there was definitely some reason as to probably as to the hastiness of getting that deal done. Now, you could say there's no connection with this. Maybe he's just selling his property, but really, it's already been targeted once by people. There's a good chance that that will probably happen again if this sort of transfer window does go on and if we don't sign the players. Now, you could say maybe this indicates we're not going to sign the players, so he doesn't want anybody knowing where he lives. But at the same time, I just think that this is another sign to say that they're aware that the fan backlash is going to be pretty bad. The fan backlash is pretty apparent, and if they don't get some movement in and get some players in and get a star player in this window, then the backlash from the United fans is going to be bad. So it's quite interesting that he has put his house up for sale, of all the times to put his house up for sale. Of course, he's been involved with United for 15 years. So to put his house up for sale now, that's interesting. I mean, hopefully, let's hope that he's been sacked. Let's hope that he's been given his marching orders and he's got to leave soon. Let's hope that's the reason he's putting his house up for sale. Because he's sacked from this football club as a chief executive potato. That's really what we want. But it's quite interesting anyway. I just thought I'd bring that up, and that sort of makes me think that they're quite aware that the fans are going to be unhappy about this window because I think it's connected. And I think they're going to go and get Jadon Sancho. He's Solskjaer's number one priority. We've been speaking to Dortmund for ages. The facts are the facts, guys. If Manchester United were out for Jadon Sancho now, if we were done, if we were not pursuing Jadon Sancho anymore, we would have made it known. The club would have made it known. They'd have drip-fed it in the media. We'd have been after other targets properly by now because the Premier League, it's underway now. And we'd absolutely be getting the players in very, very soon to improve this side and help Solskjaer out, I'm sure. But the fact is they're just waiting to the end of the window because they want to get him for a cheaper price, but Sancho's still the number one target. That's the way I look at it, because why else would we still have this whole media pursuit of Jadon Sancho going on if we were indeed just going to go and sign Kingsley Coman or Ousmane Dembele or David Neres or somebody else? We wouldn't really be having this pursuit of Jadon Sancho still taking place right now. But it is. It is. You know, personal terms are not the issue. We've already negotiated with Dortmund a bunch throughout this window. The facts are the facts. We're just waiting to put an offer in for Jadon Sancho right at the end of the window to try and save a few million quid. That's it. And Dortmund probably will accept. You know, they want 108 million. Maybe they'll accept 98 million. Maybe we can meet them somewhere a little bit closer that's not a preposterous amount of money. And come the end of the window, in a COVID pandemic crisis situation, maybe they'll just say, you know what, that 98 million is going to come in pretty handy. You can have him. You can have him. So that's exactly the tactic that the club's trying to pull, I think. Let me know if you think that that's the case. In fact, let's have a vote. Let's have 3 votes. So we've got 3 options for this vote, lads and lasses. Ready? Pay attention. So, put a 1 in the live chat if you think that Jadon Sancho is coming this week. Put a 2 in the live chat if you think they're waiting until the last moments of the window, the last days of the window to try and get him for cheaper. Or put a 3 in the live chat if you think he's not coming at all. 1 in the chat for Sancho this week. 2 in the chat for Sancho end of the window. 3 in the chat for never. JP with a 0. Omar Hussein 1. Aaron Armstrong 2. Jonathan Gallagher 2. Alan Rogers 2. Stephen Zevon 2. Mark Voot 2. Ours 123 1. Stephen Zevon 3. You've already voted 2, Stephen Zevon. You can't do that. Marek Stachowski 3. Steve Buckley 3. Chaz Davis 2. Gregory bloody hell Welsh Red 3. That United family, how's it going 2? Zek 3. Chev Davis. Stay Clint 3. Ours 1. Bloody hell, lads and lasses. Alright, chill out, chill out, chill out. Well, do you know what? Very, very mixed indeed. MBG with a 4. Very, very, very mixed indeed. My vote, personally, yeah, thank you, Omar Hussein, says, what's your vote? My vote is the number 2. I personally think that Manchester United are just holding out to wait until the end of the window to try and save him a little bit of money, and we're still going to get Jadon Sancho at the end of the window. The reasons I believe this are, we're still in the pursuit of Jadon Sancho right now. We would have deaded it off in the media. We would have deaded it off if that was the case, I think, if we were moving on. If we were moving on from Jadon Sancho, we'd have deaded it on, and we'd already be on to our next target now if I think that was the case. So, you know, we've got certain links to this football club that are taking place right now, such as Ismail Assar, and some of these guys that are a bit cheaper, like even David Brooks and people like this are a bit cheaper, maybe a bit shitter. Josh King, these sorts of guys, but they're being linked to this football club, and I think that's a lot to do with the fact we're lining up a bunch of different backups. Perisic is another one, Douglas Costa's another one. You know, that's why we're not being linked to David Neres at this stage, or Dembele, or Coman, or any of these guys, because they're big signings. They're like replacement Sancho signings. The other ones that we're talking to, Ismail Assar, and some of the other cheaper options, or that we've been linked to, I think they're not really to deter the Jadon Sancho deal or encourage Dortmund to sell him or anything like that. I think they might just be literally United at keeping tabs on these players in case we cannot get Jadon Sancho end of the season and we have to just hop in and get a cheap winger who could come in and do a job for a season or two as a backup option and let Greenwood have that right wing mantle. So that's what I think about it, lads and lasses. By the way, there's 250 of you legends tuning in right now. Hope you're having a great evening. Thanks for stopping by on the Flying Pig United YouTube channel. Do us a favour if you haven't done so already and smash that thumbs up button. Please leave a cheeky little like on the video. Thank you guys for getting in here and stopping by. We smashed 100 likes, lads and lasses. That is absolutely sensational. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking the like on the vid. Means a lot. Zaki comments, hello, Zaki. What's going on, bro? Rambo Carnambo, how are you? He says, no one if not Sancho for me, it's a must. I think that's the opinion of a lot of people, and I think maybe Solskjaer shares that same opinion, because that seems to be his number one priority in this window. We understand he's talked to Sancho multiple times throughout this window, and he's made it known to the board as well that he wanted Jadon Sancho at this football club and to do absolutely everything they can to get him in. And the facts are the facts. We have been talking to him. We've been pursuing him for ages. It's just that the board didn't want to pay the money at the start of the window. They didn't want to pay weeks' worth of wages, probably. They didn't want to pay the excess amount of money, the premium you would have to pay to sign him up early, which is all wrong. They should be doing that, but this is our board we're talking about. And they've also done something pretty bad when you consider that they've just not done any other business either. So that's another reason why I'm kind of thinking that Jadon Sancho is definitely still alive. Because if he he wasn't, they'd have signed a centre-back, they'd have signed other players, they'd have signed a left-back, they'd have signed a CDM, they'd have signed a striker, they'd have signed a right wing, because that's 120 million they'd be saving potentially if they didn't sign Jadon Sancho. So if Sancho was not on the agenda, then they would have moved on and signed some other players by now, surely, unless they really completely are truly incompetent meltbags, which they probably are. So, you know, but it's hard to say. I do think Sancho's coming. Like, I was 30%, 40% yesterday. Now I'm back up to 50%. Because just a little bit of information, just a few sources here. I mean, look, Fabrizio's come out and simply he's just shared that from Kell as well and said Borussia Dortmund sport director Sebastian Kell says he's our player, he will stay. It's exactly what you would say when you're trying to get a bit more money out of a potential club that's coming after him. So, you know, that doesn't mean anything. It's just down to the fact that we're trying to save money at the end of the window. Realist AC, hello, bro. He says, me, Claude, and the Bansters were having a chat about this. We came to an agreement that everything is a mess at the moment. Sancho is still in our reach, though. Hey, nice one there, Realist AC. Top man. Thank you so much for getting in here, bro. Legend, man. So, me, Claude, and the Bansters. Who are Claude and the Bansters, mate? But either way, Realist MC, thank you, mate. Yeah. Exactly. It's a mess at the moment, but the whole fact that we haven't gone on to somebody else and this deal's not been completely deaded off is the very reason why Sancho deal is probably still quite likely to happen for United. Now, it may only happen if the deal is dropped by Dortmund and they don't want 120 million come the end of it. They accept closer to 100 million perhaps. Then it may happen. But I think there's a much better chance of that happening at the end of the window than now, because Dortmund is still pretty adamant. Like I say, they're in the dream position really, where if they don't reach an agreement with Man United come the end of this window, they've still got themselves a fantastic player for another year who's still going to be worth the same amount of money, if not more, in a year's time. He's still got, I think, is it 3 years on a contract, or at least 2? So they've got a bit of leverage there. It's not like they've got him running out on a contract immediately. So yes, I think that for them, they're in an ideal position where they really don't need to sell him. Keller's come out there and simply said that we'd be in a worse position if we sold him, and that's true. So they're aware of that. They'd have to get the money in and spend that and get a player elsewhere, which I'm sure they do. They produce great talents. But yeah, they would definitely be missing out losing a player like Sancho. So you've got to compensate them. You have to compensate them. So yeah, quite interesting then, lads and lasses, the votes. I mean, let's just have a general vote then. Smash a 1 if you think we will get Jadon Sancho, just to see where the fan base is at, how split you are. If most of you think that we're going to get him or most of you think we're not going to get him. Smash a 1 if you think we'll get Jadon Sancho this window. Lucy Galebrave says, I'd love Fatty. Well, you'd love me then, Lucy. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. Ansu Fati from Barcelona. I think he's got an release clause of 150 million on his contract, though. I don't think it would necessarily take that much to get him, but I just don't see Man United getting him in this window at all. Look at this. Ryan Martin with the 1, Vincent Bullock, Obituary Meliodas, Aaron Homeyard, Mark Voot, Stephen Ty, Owls123, Steve Nichols, Aaron Armstrong, all with the 1s. Paul Vanderbeek thinks no, Mr. Edward thinks no, Gerard thinks no, Voodoo Chili thinks no, Jim Joe Bobley thinks no, Stephen Zevon thinks no, Shane Rudd thinks nah, Don Micleone thinks no. Nice one, guys. Ronak Singh thinks no as well. Sorry, Ronak. Joe Harb, how you doing, Joe Harb? Good to see you. Matt Rush says subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for that, Matt Rush. Yeah, if you're new to this channel and you haven't seen it before, this is your first time on Flying Pig United, join this awesome community and get involved with these videos. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon to be notified when we post live as well. And also smash a thumbs up on the video if you haven't done so. Right then, okay, let's get into this. Danny Atkins, he thinks we will not get Sancho. I mean, look, I think we could spend our money better elsewhere in terms of strengthening the whole team. But I do actually kind of think that we will, because why are we not signing anybody else? The only reason we are not signing anybody else is because we've got our heart set on Jadon Sancho, surely. Otherwise, we would have signed some of these bargain players or some of these other options by now. That's my only logic. It's not very good logic, because this is our board we're talking about. This is the same board that fannied around and waited until the last day of the window to bring in Marouane Fellaini as our only transfer when David Moyes had his first transfer window. So, trust me, I've seen absolutely awful transfer windows before in my lifetime for sure. And this is absolutely one of those at this moment in time. But it could all change come the end of the window. I still think it would have been piss poor in the preparation of the season, because they've waited until the season's bang underway, and where they could have spent a bit more money and had us better prepared. So that's a big knock in the balls. But yeah, like Jadon Sancho, I've still got a little feeling it's going to happen anyway, lads and lasses. We will see. We will see. Nice one, lads and lasses. Right, okay, so a little bit more transfer news in regards to Daniel James now, folks. Now, we've got a source here to say that potentially Daniel James has agreed personal terms with Leeds United. Now, this isn't confirmed yet, so just take that with a pinch of salt. But the clubs must negotiate now a deal to obviously get the business done for Daniel James to Leeds United. Now, back in the day, I told you this earlier, but he once had the opportunity to sign for Leeds United. I believe he was stood there with the manager holding the shirt, and it all went pear-shaped in the last minute. This is like... before he signed for United, obviously. So I think it's kind of interesting, this link, and I think that Bielsa obviously does want him, and he wants him for a sheer unadulterated pace, and he'll probably do quite well at Leeds. He's just not quite a Manchester United standard player. Whether it's a loan deal, whether it's a transfer, I would say it kind of makes sense, but only if United are going to get replacements. If we're replacing James with Ismail Assar, I can live with that. I can understand getting rid of James to Leeds. If we're going to loan him for a season and get somebody else in, I can understand doing that. But I can't understand getting rid of James if we're not going to bring anybody else in, simply because we don't have the depth or the quality there at all. Tushar Mehta says, Mr. Flying Pig, did the board forget about the centre-back problems? We need Badia Shield. Yeah, they don't seem to have highlighted any issue at the back, really, to be honest with you, Tushar. I'm not going to lie. Like, they seem like they have just been pretty happy with no centre-back coming in this window. There's even talks that Chris Smalling might get reinstated in the side. So I don't think they're going to be prepared to spend money on the centre-back position. The only way I can see it is if, come the end of the window, we don't get Sancho, they pie us off, we refuse to pay the 120, and then we just panic buy some centre-back at the end of the window. That's the only way I can see us getting a centre-back. Realist AC, dude, thank you very much again for your super chat, man. Getting in here, absolute boss. He comments, if we don't sign Sancho, the excuses will pile as to why we didn't sign him. Let's be honest, it's true. If we don't sign him, rivals do one over us. Yeah, well, this is the thing, man. If we don't get Sancho, we are showing exactly the sort of club we are at the moment, where we've got an inability to bring the top players into the club. And if we don't get him in, then we've only got Donny van de Beek this window in, and you'll probably see them panic buy and scratch around and get some players in just before the end of the window if they can't get Sancho. But even then, it will be a pathetic window. If you don't get the proper puzzle piece that you intended to get in the first place, then it's a bad window, I think. And here's that puzzle piece. We may have changed our opinions as fans, and maybe the board and the club and Ollie has changed their opinion as to who should be coming in this window. Should it be a centre-back? Should it be an Upper Meccano type player? Or should it still be Jadon Sancho as the number one priority? Because priorities do change. And I think we're all aware that we have got issues at the back. Now, we're all hoping that maybe Twanzebe or Mengi or Bailly or somebody can put up a good fight in this team and join up with Harry Maguire to make a really solid partnership. But we're not holding our breath on that one. We could definitely do with getting a player in here, but it doesn't look like that's happening. So, to be honest with you, Realist AC, I do think that we'll look like absolute twats if we don't sign Jadon come the end of the window. So, I'm looking at the egos at the top of this football club. I'm looking at that ego on Eddie Woodward, and I'm thinking he doesn't want to get taken for a ride, but at the same time, he doesn't want to have his house firebombed, which is why he's put it up on the sale on the market. You know what I mean? Lucy Galbraith says 120 million is the right price, so anything above that. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not a preposterous amount of money to pay for him. 90 million to 110 million is what I think is the maximum you should really be paying for him in terms of pounds. Well, that is about 120 million euros then. The reason I say it is worth it, if you look at some of the other valuations of players, such as Havertz, who's 21, he's a year older. He went for 71 mil to Chelsea from the Bundesliga. It's a comparable player. They're not the same players in terms of positions and what they do. But Jadon obviously is a year younger. His stats are more impressive. So I do think that he does warrant a massive fee. It's just a little bit inflated by Dortmund. But if they're sensible, if they're not completely just playing hardball here and they just wanted to squeeze a good bit more out of us, then they'll probably do that come the end of the window, and we might be able to get him for a little bit less money. Let's hope so. Nice one, lads and lasses. So yeah, Dan James to Leeds, that's a possibility. That story's picking up a little bit more pace. Quite annoying. We don't necessarily want to see Dan James go to Leeds because they're obviously putrid, scummy rivals. We don't want to see him go and join Leeds United. Do you know what I mean? With that Balsa, frickin' what's his name? Bielsa. Bielsa, we know his name. I'm just trying to find a funny pun to say that he's a twat, basically, but it didn't really work. Anyway, in regards to Jadon Sancho, the player cannot do anything if no offer is made. Dortmund will not change their stance unless an offer is made. Price remains the same, £108 million. Manchester United need to pay or move on. So right-wing position remains a priority. That's just some information here from the United link there. Just a statement there, which I fully agree with. It seems like nothing has really gone on there. But like I say, we're waiting until the end of the window. We would have deaded off this interest in Jadon and moved on to the next target if that was the case. If we were not planning on going for Jadon before the end of the window, we'd have already done that. So that's the hunch that I've got, folks. You can call me mad. I think we're going to sign Jadon Sancho just last couple of days of the window. Maybe the last day of the window. Maybe the last hour of the window. Maybe the last hour of the transfer window. I think Manchester United are going to sign Jadon Sancho. I'm calling it right there. We shall see if it happens. But I'm putting my eggs in the Sancho basket now. Not because I think that's what's best for United. No, I don't personally. I think we should get a different right winger, a CDM, a left back, and a centre back with that money. Because I think you could actually get those 4 players with that money. But I think the way United are going about it, the negotiations we've had in the window, Solskjaer, the fact that he's had such communications with the board and with Sancho about this player, I just think, and the fact Ed Woodward has had quite a poor window and the fans are obviously pissed off. The fans need something here. We need a boost. Sancho's a big name boost. We know how they operate this board. They wait until there's so much disdain from the fan base and then they go out there and they spend. Then they spend, or they bring in a big name. They at least bring in a big name. You know, whether it's a Falcao or a Di Maria or a Zlatan or whoever it is, they'll try and go out there and bring in a big name. And I'm not saying Sancho's to that degree, but he's a big name, big money player. Like for 10 years, we should have a top quality player. So it's not even a lot of money when you spread it over the 10 years. Zek says having bad reactions or relations with a great selling club like Dortmund is so bad for the future. Such a good point. Like, we have the ability to just sour relationships, unfortunately, because we've got that human potato who's not a football man and who doesn't speak in football terms or to football people, but he's just a financial banker, and so's his right-hand man, and his left-hand man, probably. That's what happens. Like, we don't have good negotiations with clubs. We're always trying to scrimp on them. We're always trying to get the deal in our favour. And so what you've got to do with negotiations, that's the art of negotiation. You have to meet them in the middle. And we often don't want to do that. That's why we lost out on the Reguilon deal, simply because we were not prepared to consider a buyback clause. I understand this club doesn't want to develop players, and Tellez, actually, if we get Tellez instead on a permanent deal, that's a better deal. It is. So I'm not too worried about that one, but that is a reason. It's because we weren't prepared to bend at all. The Thiago deal as well, same sort of shit like that. We're just ill-prepared to get any negotiation. We didn't even have a bid in the end for Thiago, by the way. We may have discussed it with the players, but we didn't even really have a proper go at getting Thiago, just so you know. I mean, maybe that's for a good reason, because he'd obviously had his sights set on the Scouse scum anyway. But there you go. Realist AC with another super chat, bro. Thank you, man. You're having your say tonight, bro. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you to everybody else who's getting in here as well. Don't you worry, guys. I will get onto the comments and have a proper Q&A with you lads and lasses as we go along. But yeah, thank you very much for you all for getting in here and stopping by. But let's read your comment out, Realist AC. He says, well, hopefully Fred will play tomorrow and show why he is worth over 50 million. In my opinion, he is. Have a good night, mate. You're a top man. Bye, everyone. Realist AC, thank you so much. Everybody stick a thumbs up emoji in the live chat for Realist AC. Thank you for supporting the show tonight, mate. Bloody hero, and thank you for having your say too. Look, Fred, I think, is a good player. I think we did overpay for Fred, but actually, you know, he's still only, 26, 27? He's not that old. Like, if we have him as a squad player over that time, it's going to pay for itself, really. He's a good, energetic player. I've been saying it a long time. Good jack of all trades, good in the tackle, good on the ball, good passing, good vision. Just nothing great about him, but he's a good player. So, to me, yeah, I would definitely see him in there in the Luton game. My overall team selection for the Luton game, just to give you the rundown, because I don't think I am going to do a preview in time or have time to do one tomorrow. Maybe I will. But I'm going to go Henderson in goal. This is what I think, because I think Solskjaer needs to stick with a good spine of the... and there's some players that need game time. He will rotate a lot of positions, but I think he's going to keep a good core in there. So I'm going for Dean Henderson in goal. I'm going Brandon Williams left back. I'm going Mengi alongside Maguire in the centre-back positions. I think we're going to see something from Mengi in this game. I think he's going to start Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. 4-2-3-1 this is, by the way. Fred and Donny in the middle. That's potent and powerful. Certainly good enough to get the best of Luton. And then across the three, Rashford's crying out for game times. He needs sharpness and conditioning. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out today and said that we need 4 or 5 games, or maybe this was after the game actually, but he said 4 or 5 games we need before we're going to have that match sharpness, that match fitness, that conditioning. We need 4 or 5 games. That's what he said. And he's probably somewhere right around that, to be fair. So Rashford needs a game. Bruno Fernandes needs a game in the hole. Absolutely, he looked slow off the pace a little bit the other day for his standards. And on the right, I mean, take your pick, but I think he's going to go with Lingard, and up top, probably Ighalo. Could play Martial, though. Maybe he wants to give these players a game, like some game time. We'll see what he elects to do anyway. Nice one, guys. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here. Please do us a favour if you haven't done so already and smash that like button, everyone. Thanks so much for being a part of this show. Michael Fletcher comments, Fred, Donny van der Beek and Matic is a balanced midfield. Bruno and Pogba should sit it out. Good call, Michael Fletcher. Yeah, Matic, if he's available, actually, yeah, he's obviously a great player. But I guess for Luton, we can pretty much, you'd think, we should be able to put any midfield out and have the beating of them. So Fred and Donny, I would quite like to see that. I think they quite complement each other as well. They're different enough players that they'll complement each other well, but they're both defensively solid enough as well. So that's good. I think that does actually work quite well. And Matic is probably the most calming player we've got. So definitely whenever Matic is fit at this moment in time, he should be in the side, in the first team in the Premier League anyway, not in this Luton Town game. Clam J, thank you so much, Clam J, for the super chat, man. He comments, shout out to the pig for giving us awesome entertainment. Put a fire emoji if you agree. And I love the way the channel is growing. Dampen the loins. Clammy, thank you so much for that, man. You're such a nice, kind guy. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you for the support. Stick a fire in the emoji in the emoji section if you agree. Thank you, Clam J, for that, man. You're a top lad. Really appreciate that. Ryan Berber Spin 9's got in here as well, guys. It's all popping off. And says, if we want Sancho, our chief negotiator needs to learn how to use a phone. Literally. Evra really shine a light on how melty we are run. Absolutely. If you missed that earlier, guys, in my video earlier, and obviously it was around the media, Patrice Evra exposed our absolutely incompetent board here. Because basically, let me see if I can find the quote, because he basically ripped right into them. You know, he basically was saying that Matt Judge doesn't answer his phone. Oh, it doesn't matter. It was a quote along the lines of a top sporting director from a top football club around the world contacted me, Patrice Evra, and asked me if I could maybe get Matt Judge to answer his phone because they were trying to contact them and they couldn't get hold of him, man. So it just goes to show you the incompetence of our board and what they're trying to do, man. What are they doing? They're on bloody holiday mode. Bunch of idiots. But nice one. Thank you very much for that. And you're right, but Ryan Berber, it did shine a light on how terrible our board is and how our negotiators are. And it doesn't necessarily mean that much. I mean, maybe Matt Judge was having a poo when the sporting director of Barcelona gave him a call. And he didn't want to answer. He's got onto Patrice. Maybe he was having a poo. But the fact of the matter is, you get back to him, you get it sorted out. So it's a joke, man. Matt Judge is a clown. And of course, Woodward's a clown. Stick a clown emoji in the live chat if you think Eddie Woodward's a clown. And Matt Judge. That's right. Is there a clown emoji on here? Let me see. But definitely clowns among us, my friends. Definitely clowns among us at Manchester United. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's the clown emoji. Get in there. I'll beat you all to it as well. Not only am I streaming, but I'm also beating you all to the clown emojis. I mean, how does that work, guys? Come on. Inside the white line says Evra, club legend. Abso-bloody-lutely he is. He's abso-bloody-lutely a club legend. Nice one, guys. Thank you very much for all your clown emojis there. Legends, nice one. Yeah, you're right about that, Dan Smith. Woodward is a C. Right, okay, let's carry on with the rest of the news then, folks. Gary Neville obviously came out earlier and said they've not got the quality, or the experienced football people within our club. It looks like a convoluted and complex structure. I'm not quite sure where the decisions lie. So just if you missed that earlier as well, Gary Neville also ripping on Manchester United's clubs, not just Patrice Evra. Gary Neville coming out. Everybody's been coming out and saying that our board are useless, basically, and they haven't planned well for this season or backed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer anywhere near the amount that they should have done. So it's pretty gash-tastic. Samuel Luckhurst has come out here. Sancho, youth coach, makes Man United transfer claim. To quote him, he says, with his personality, he would fit just in with Pogba and Fernandes. Rich Face speaks to Jadon Sancho's old coach. So let's just have a little look at this. Quite interesting just to see what this guy thinks about Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho would be ideal at United this summer, according to England International's former youth coach. He said, if Jadon was to go to Manchester United, I think it would be a great move for him. Lancaster, who's currently an assistant at Utah Royals, he said he would be going to a great... Hang on, where's this bloody quote gone? He said he would be going to play for a manager that has trust. If you look at some managers, they don't trust that talent. Jadon will probably go to Manchester United, but it would also be great for the Premier League. And it would be great for him because the club are structurally set up for success. Oh, I don't know if we are structurally set up for success. Actually, I don't think we are. We're not structurally set up for success for our owners, with our owners and Woodward and all those guys. Definitely not. So we'll just ignore that. We'll ignore that comment. He says you don't want to go somewhere they are not set up for that. The club have got a tremendous amount of history. They've got a great coaching staff and they've got players who will trust him. I mean, he's right in one way. We're not far off, but because of our owners, we are still quite far away. Anyway, that was just a bullshit. That's a bullshit article there. Anyway, nothing that interesting on that one. Woodward puts his house for sale. Okay, this is interesting. PSG want Dele Alli from Spurs, and they're considering making an offer making a bid after he's offered to them. Talks are ongoing at this moment. So there's an update on Dele Alli to PSG, which I just wanted to mention again, just because we were talking about the possibility of Jesse Lingard moving the opposite direction to Spurs from United. I hope it happens. I hope Dele does go to PSG just so Lingard can go to Tottenham. I think that would be fantastic for us. Right then, nice one, guys. Let me just have a look and see if there's any latest transfer updates that my maestro guru, Mr. Matthew Rushmeister, has possibly sent me here. Let's take a little look. Bielsa is a strong admirer of Daniel James and would look to add another wide player to his squad. This is from Leeds Live News. Yeah, look, that's definitely a possibility, guys. We talked about that already in the show a little bit, but Daniel James to Leeds United, what do you guys think about that? Smash a one in the live chat if you think that would be okay. If you think that is something we should do. Seems weird to let him go to a rival like Leeds United, though, where he could come up and hurt us. I mean, I wouldn't be so bothered about a loan if he wasn't allowed to play against us. But if we sold him to us, I wouldn't really want to. He's such a pace monger. He's a pace monger, and I wouldn't want to go up against Dan James's raw pace, even though he's a headless chicken. Think about what Dan James probably does to Maguire and Lindelof in training with his sheer raw pace. Have you ever thought about that? Dan James running around like Speedy Gonzalez or something like that. You know, and they're just trying to catch up to him. They can't because we've got an Easter Island Slabby and all the players are slow. All the players are slow at the back there. So you know Dan James just rinses past them in training. Has to be a loan, says Zek. Yeah, fair play. Thank you everyone for voting here. Yeah, no, that's quite mixed down. Some people would be happy to see him go to Leeds. Others wouldn't, just out of principle. Yeah, Lee Matthews. He says, never do business with that lot. Absolutely, unless it's the other way. Unless we're pinching players off them, never do business with them. I agree with you. Because we have had a few Leeds United players over the years. Let's see if you guys can remember some. Of course, Eric Cantona, Alan Smith. Who remembers any other Leeds United players that Manchester United have signed over the years? So I can remember Eric Cantona, Alan Smith. Craig Andre Yogi says, loan James to Leeds United for development. Well, that would be the good thing, because at the moment in time, he's just not really good enough for United. He doesn't really have the end product. He needs game time, he needs experience. And if he was to go out to another club, he would get that. And Leeds in the Premier League is a good club to go to get experience. It really is. And there's a good coach there who plays attacking football. It could be actually quite interesting. Lee Sharp, Rio Ferdinand. There's a great one, Jonathan Gallagher. Great shout, mate. But yeah. Ferdinand, yeah, nice one. McQueen, Strachan, says Lee Matthews. Rio was a Leeds player, absolutely. I think he played for Leeds and West Ham, didn't he, before United? Leeds and West Ham, if I remember correctly. Alan Rogers says Sharp went to Leeds from United. Jonathan Gallagher, Rio Ferdinand Pig, yeah. Gordon McQueen, Joe Jordan says the Eggman 72. Good stuff, good stuff. Ilya United says Cantona, Smith, Rio McQueen, Strachan. Great stuff. Johnny Giles, we have Leeds, Johnny Giles. Gordon Strachan the other way. Yorif, says Fred Cranham. Interesting. So, yeah, there we go. Not that many. In the whole history, what's that? 5 or 6? In the whole history, we have had 5 or 6 Leeds United players come in. So it's not that common of occurrence that this deal's done between the two clubs, just simply because of the huge rivalry between the two clubs. It's like Liverpool as well. There's not that many players that have played for both United and Liverpool, and certainly not that many players who have been bought by United from Liverpool or the other way round. It just doesn't happen that much. I know Michael Owen played for both of us, but there's a big separate part in between. There's not that many players who've played for both United and Liverpool. I'm just trying to think of some of those as well. Nice one. Steve Buckley says, we got Lee Sharp from Torquay United, eh? Crikey. JP, how you doing, JP? Says, Scholes' fire was on his ginger biscuit head. Scholes' fire was on his boot, mate. Scholes' boot was something else, man. That guy had sheer unadulterated class. Scholes' funny as foot, by the way. Like, he's so droll, isn't he? He's so droll. He's like, my name's Paul Scholes, and I'm just the greatest midfielder of all time, but to be honest with you, I don't really like it that much, you know. sort of like what he reminds me of, like, everything's just a little bit like, he's sort of like the ginger football version of Carl Pilkington, isn't he? Sort of just like, it's all right, I was looking at his Instagram stories earlier, and his kids are playing. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but his kids are playing a game of football. He said, and he just like got a bunch of different videos, and it says like, oh, me and my son and his knobhead mates are playing football now, and he's just ragging them in each individual story, just like the next one's like, look at this standard, it's absolutely shite, and like knobheads and all this stuff, you know. They're just lads playing a game of football, and he's just taking Instagram stories, ripping into him. The guy's pure class, man. The guy's absolutely pure class. I love Paul Scholes. He's so you wouldn't have thought Paul Scholes would be such a vocal pundit, because he is quite a vocal pundit, like on TV when you see him. He does not on there very often. But when you do see him, he's actually quite vocal. I'd have thought he'd have been like, everyone, but he doesn't hold back. He's sort of like, everyone's looking garbage, you know. Vincent Bullock says, hell no to Dan James going to Leeds. Lawazi Matarara says, what percentage do you think United will sign Sancho? So my percentage has gone up a little bit now. I think it's 50% again. Yesterday I was 40%, I believe. Maybe even been as low as 30%. I can't remember now. But today I'm 50% because we haven't said in the press or as much that we are looking for another option now. We haven't withdrawn negotiations or withdrawn the pursuit of Jadon Sancho. If that, the media would have been told about this by United, we'd have drip fed it. We'd have got it out there that Jadon Sancho is no longer a United target. We're moving on. That would have happened. Either that, or we would have just signed another player. We would have just signed another player in that position. So I do think Jadon Sancho is still on the agenda. I just believe they're waiting until the last moments of the window to try and save a few million quid. Hey, Dean Flynn, he says, bye, Pigman, enjoyed your live. Woodward is shit. Thank you so much for that, Dean Flynn. You have a cracking evening, mate. Appreciate it, dude. Skinny Boy says, Matt Judge has no respect for Alex Ferguson, mate. Matt Judge, what a tit. He shouldn't have our respect. Lucy Galbraith says, Stephen, if you bumped into their fans on match day, you would get the scum thing. Are we talking about Leeds United? Hey, Matt Rush, thank you very much. He says 173 likes. Appreciate you all for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do smash that thumbs up button. Give the video a cheeky little like. That will help us out. Help us compete with the bigger, meltier channels. You know the ones. And it will help us boost up the ratings and all that stuff. So if you want to, if you can, if you enjoy the show, if you like what we're doing, if you enjoy the passion, then please do smash that like button, lads and lasses. Nice one. Over 350 of you in here too. Danny Atkins, good night to you. Great to have you in here. Thanks for stopping by for the evening show. Right then, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what we've discussed and then we'll get into the comment section. I'm not going to try and ramble on too much tonight because there's a little bit of transfer stuff that we've already gone over, but it's quite a slow news evening tonight, really. But just to give you a little bit of a rundown, United are in advanced negotiations now to sign Alex Telles from Porto. We're expecting in the next few days, if our board is really capable of getting the deal done that soon, which hopefully we are. We're in advanced negotiations with Porto over the potential transfer as defender Alex Telles. We've obviously had quite a crap summer transfer window so far, and that's why it's really likely that he's going to come in very, very soon. Not just a boost to the fans and Ollie and everyone, but also to the squad. The squad needs a boost right now. We need somebody who can come in and sort of be an instant impact player, and he can probably do that. He's doing the business and playing well and consistently for Porto. I don't think fitness is going to be an issue as long as he's not harbouring an injury or anything like that. We should be able to get him in there pretty quickly, get the medical done, and get him in a United shirt. Now, I don't know if that's going to be for the Brighton game, but certainly, obviously, for the Newcastle game. So, yes, Alex Telles is looking like he's going to be a red. It's not 100% yet, but what we understand is no other clubs are into him. We know PSG were offered him, but from what we understand at this moment in time, PSG didn't put in an offer. So United, clear way, clear path to get him. We just need to agree the deal. Fabrizio said that there's a €20 million offer or on the table from Manchester United at the moment, but we understand via our sources that it's 22 to 25 million euros is what Manchester United are now agreeing with Porto. So hopefully it will come out very soon that the two clubs have agreed the terms and the deal, and you will see Manchester United announce that he's coming to England for a medical very soon. I'm hoping that we can get it done before the Brighton game. Not necessarily to having him in there and play, but just to give us that boost that we all need, because this has been a shit window. And he is a good player. And if you look at his stats, he's going to give us a lot. And I like the fact that he can take penalties, set pieces, corners, all that good stuff, take some of the emphasis off of Bruno Fernandes. And he looks like a fantastic player. So let's see how we get on with him. And he's 27, experienced. You can't really put a price on that right now, because we've got a young squad of inexperienced players. Asan Akhtar, what's going on, Asan? Hello, matey, says, evening all. Nonsense. Evening to you there, Asan Akhtar. Big God Bob, how you doing, Big God Bob? Simon Cowie, Dan Smith, Matt Rush, Chip Douglas, Mark Voot, Charles Joseph, JP, and everyone. Appreciate you all getting in here. Right, so there's that. Yeah, Alex Telles. We'll see if Alex Telles comes to United in the next few days. We're expecting that he does. He would just have to have a medical and paperwork to be done once the negotiations are finished, which they're doing that right now, guys. The negotiations are advanced right now. So Fabrizio, about 4 or 5 hours ago, was reporting a 20 million offer, euros. We understand 22 to 25 million euros. So I think that the negotiations are pretty much done from what we understand, but I don't want to say that they're done and agreed at this moment in time. But hopefully that's not going to be an issue. Is my computer going to explode? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's going mental. I'm a little bit concerned about that, guys. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that, but Mr. YOLO Man, how you doing, Mr. YOLO Man? Thank you very much for the 50 knock super chat there, dude. He comments, if they screw up the Sancho deal... Shit, if they screw up the Sancho deal, who do you think the Band-Aid player will be? Surely it won't only be Telles incoming, also the weekend is coming. Get in there, Mr. YOLO Man. So, to be honest with you, if we did mess up the Sancho deal, I think they'll wait until the last day of the window to do it, to mess it up. They'll go in with a low offer. Dortmund, if they reject it and we mess it up, then I think they'll go for a pretty crummy player to deputise. I think you'll be seeing somebody like David Brooks, somebody like Josh King, somebody like Douglas Costa. I think it'll be one of those that comes in. If they got any wherewithal about them, though, what they should do is get somebody to come into the club like somebody a bit better, like a David Neres or a Coman or somebody along that line. Somebody who might be half as much money as Jadon Sancho, but 90 or 90% of the player. Or even more, to be fair, because they're more experienced players. So that's what I'd go for, Mr. YOLO Man. Thank you so much for the super chat as well, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Biohazard YouTube says Crystal Palace. Oh, don't even get me started. Dan Smith says Woodward's selling his house because Liverpool want him. I would love it if Ed Woodward went and left the club now. That'd be amazing. If that's the reason he's selling his house, that would be amazing. Memphis Depay says that's an actor. Yeah, Memphis Depay's another option as well. Wilfried Zaha's another option. If you're talking about ex-Reds, players that we could get back, I think we have got an option to buy Memphis Depay and a percentage of a future sale for Wilfried Zaha. So if we paid 80 million for Zaha, it'd actually be 60 million. If you paid 60 million for Zaha, it'd actually be 45 million. So I think we've got a 25% future sell-on clause in that one, which is interesting. So as a backup option, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but I do think he's a good player, good Premier League player. He certainly had a good game against us the other day and caused us a bunch of issues. He's in the Premier League regularly, knows the league. He would be a good option. So he's another one. Basically, it's not really about who United can get. It's like, that's another reason why I think we're definitely going to get Jadon Sancho. Not definitely, but we're definitely still pursuing Jadon Sancho. Because we'd have probably gone in for Wilfred, we'd have probably gone in for Brooks or Josh King or Sarr or Dembele or Neres or Coman or Gnabry or anybody if we were actually not going to go for Jadon Sancho. So we haven't done that, which makes me think that Jadon Sancho is definitely still our number one priority in this window and still Solskjaer's number one priority. Because you're not seeing us sign any other wingers. If we'd have signed another winger or it been linked to having proper negotiations with another winger right now, I'd say the Jadon Sancho deal may realistically be done. But we're being linked to Ismail Assar, we're being linked to players, but there's nothing concrete at the moment. These are all just backups that they're lining up in case the Sancho deal does fall down and we have our pants pulled down. Gabriel Lopez comments, Zaha is good, would love to see him in red. Absolutely, yeah. Very, very good. Impressive player. One thing's for sure, West Ham are certainly not going to be signing him. Lucy Galbraith says, Woodward selling his house because we're signing no one. Ed is on his toes. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I think it is something to do with that. Because it's a bit strange at this moment in time to put his house up for sale. £2 million house as well. What a bastard. Now, fair play to him, but crikey. Tweaking House says, let's get it done. Good man, Tweaking House. What's your name about in reference to Ed Woodward's house? Patrick Naranja Music says, that's a bloody lie. Don't know what you're talking about. Bills fan says, if you take that £120 million and you came out with Upamecano, Telles and insert CDM name, is that not better than getting Sancho? Bills fan, I think, yes, it's definitely better than getting Sancho. But I also think they're still after Sancho because they'd have done that already, wouldn't they? Like you say, why wait and why fanny around and why persevere and why draw out this transfer window when you can sign a CDM early, when you can sign a left-back early, a centre-back, or another different right winger? Like, that's the thing. You could actually get 4 players for Jadon. You could get a good right winger. You could get like Ismail Assar or something like that, maybe Neres. Somebody say 60 million budget on, 60 million budget on the winger. You get a good centre-back, another 40 million, 40, 50 million, Upamecano, 50, 60 million maybe. Okay, you might have to spend a few more pennies than the 120 to get all these players. But you are ideally strengthening the overall whole team as opposed to one piece of it. So yes, definitely makes more sense in the short term for United to do that. If you're talking about the bigger picture and adding the best possible players to the puzzle over the years, like say, if you look at how Klopp did it at Liverpool, right? Now, not to give Klopp credit, but that's sort of what they did. They didn't just buy like 8 out of 10 players. They didn't buy 8 out of 10 players and flood the whole team with them. What he did is every other window, he would get a 10 out of 10 player and just one of them basically, or 2 of them. Like whether it's Alisson, whether it's Van Dijk, he would buy these players and plug the holes with the best possible player. Even if it took us longer and longer and longer, or took them, should I say, longer to, to have any sort of payback from it. When it was complete, when they did get rid of Karius and got Alisson, when they did get Van Dijk in there, when they did fill the places within the squad, it's a great team. So it's a longer game, but if you miss out on Sancho, you're potentially missing out on one of the best players of his generation. And to get somebody like a Neres or Coman or somebody, they're all great players too. But are they going to be a world beater like a Jadon Sancho? So that's my only argument, and just to play devil's advocate for that. Because I personally think, yes, we would be better off strengthening in all different areas. But if you can get a true world beater, which he could be over the next decade, then maybe it's best to wait off of that and wait until you can get another true world beater in the centre-back position next window or next season. Or, not that I want to do that. I think centre-back's a must, but that's how I think they're looking at it now. I think they're looking at it exactly like that. Can you guys hear that, by the way? I'm a bit concerned that my computer's just going to explode, and definitely my mouse has stopped working. Is my stream still working, guys? I can't do anything on my computer. That is gash. But anyway, hey, how you doing? Soccer Daily says Lucas Vasquez. I mean, there's lots of players that would be acceptable for United to improve our side, mate, to be honest. I agree, Soccer Daily. Like, Don't get why we haven't signed a centre-back. Don't get why we haven't signed another right-winger option. You see, even if Jadon Sancho does come in, we should still have the depth and quality in another position, in that same position, to be able to deal with it. Like, that's what doesn't make sense at all for me. We should still have the quality in that position to deal with a Sancho injury or a Greenwood injury. So we should be signing an Ismail Assar. We should be signing somebody like that right now as well, even if we do get Sancho as well. But unfortunately, it's a lack of ambition from this football club that absolutely winds me up and pisses me off, lads and lasses. Oh, yeah. Oh, my mouse is broken, guys. This stream's just going to never end, I'm afraid. I'm going to be on this stream all night now because the bloody mouse is broken. How am I supposed to turn the stream off in a bit? Do you know what I mean? How am I supposed to turn the stream off, guys? Becky Hope, how you doing, Becky? Great to have you in here. She says, hi, Pig. Sorry, late. Not feeling well. Oh, sorry to hear that, Becky Hope. I hope you feel better. Everybody, you know what to do. Smash that love heart emoji in the live chat for Becky Hope and wish her well soon. Chip Douglas says, get well soon, Becky. Tweaking House says, we need a left-back, centre-back and a fast finisher. Good shout. We could definitely do with another finisher. Mark Voot says, Becky, me fellow skip rat hater. Alan T says, Alt T and F4. Thank you so much for that, Alan T, mate. So I can stop streaming on OBS Studio with Alt and F4. Is that what you're telling me? Any United says, the stream is not working here, Pigistan. Ah, no. Control Alt Delete keys. Oh, yeah, and I'll tab through it. That's a good shout, actually. That is a good shout. Ryan says, 24/7 Pig Cam. Lucy Girl Brave, great to see you, by the way. We've got another super chat here from Mr. YOLO Man. Dude, thank you so much for that. He says, I don't think this club/fan base will have the patience Liverpool had. Building brick by brick. We can hear you, by the way. This stream will last forever, Pig. Well, you know what they say, Mr. YOLO Man. YOLO! Yeah, oh, God. You haven't... Nobody said that for about 5 years. It sounds so cringe now, doesn't it? People used to actually say that to each other. Oh, YOLO! Sounds cringe as... Oh, that's your name. Sorry. I'm joking. But he says, I don't think the club/fan base will have the patience Liverpool had. Building brick by brick. We can hear you, by the way. This stream will last forever, Pig. Yeah, that's the only concern with our fan base is we're not the most patient. We can't wait and wait to build and fill all the positions. And I understand that we've been waiting a long time already since Fergie left for any real success or a quality team. So it's frustration from the fans, but I can get it. Either way, I'll be content if they do either. So if they finish the window, having signed Donny van der Beek, Tellez and Sancho, I would say it could have been a lot worse than that. We've got a world beater potentially. We've got a really good Dutch midfielder there and a really good wing back. Now, it's not the centre-back or the CDM or even a striker that we could have done with either, but it is still quite a good improvement from what we had. Now, we'll probably still leak goals at the back if we don't improve upon that centre-back position, unless Solskjaer can just make turn Mengi and develop him into an absolute beast at the back, or Eric Bailly can control himself enough to not get sent off or injure people left, right and centre. That would be brilliant. So, yeah. Good comment there, Mr. YOLO Man. Thank you very much for getting in there. Mark Alexander says it would take us another 10 years. I mean, it might do. I hope that it doesn't. I really do hope that it doesn't. I think United's just such a massive club with such great support that we should be getting back there very soon because, but it depends on our owners. They're the ones that have to spend the money. If they do spend the money properly this time and we get Sancho and he turns out to be one of the best players in the world and stuff like that, then we'll be back there in no time. Craven Moorhead, my favourite United player at this moment in time. It's probably Rashi or Greenwood or Bruno. One of those. I can't really pick. I just love all three of those guys. I think Greenwood's the prodigal son. He's going to be the next awesome player that plays for Manchester United for the next decade. I think he's just one of the next homegrown talent, the next beast that we create. I also think Rashford is along those lines as well, and people give Rashford a hard time, but he's just not been on. He's not been on it since he had that back surgery. After that, he was shite, but before then, he was amazing. So I still have faith that Rashford can come good, and I still love the way he plays. Like not now or how he's been doing the last part of the season, but actually, I just love the way he was playing, and he was a match winner for us at the start of the year. I think he's a good player, man. People give him a hard time, but he's still only young himself. Alan T says it's been like Groundhog Day since Fergie left. That's absolutely right. Oh, man, the bloody mouse is broken, guys. That is gash. Anyway, Patrick Naranja Music says Sancho and Tellez not coming. Just bloody crap. Well, yeah, I mean, they haven't come yet, but I do think Telles is going to come in the next few days because United are already in advanced talks with Porto. The path's clear for us because no other teams are speaking to him. And he's a cheap deal, and that's what suits United right now. Never mind the Sancho deal, which actually works out cheap if you have him for 12 years or whatnot. But the rest of the deals in there, like Donny, that's a bargain. That's why they've gone in for him. There's no risk. He's 23, costs 39 million euros. He's only going one way in terms of asset value, and that's up. Same goes for Alexander Telles, really. He's cheap. He's only 20 odd million, 22, 25 million euros, somewhere around there. Okay, come the end of his contract, it was reported the other day that it was a 5-year deal. I think that might be a little bit long, but that was what was reported, was agreed with him and his agent for United's contract length. That would take him up to being 32. So at the end of that one, you are basically going to lose him for nothing. But you're getting him for dirt cheap to begin with, and you're getting a good player in the key peak years of his experience. So that's why it's a good deal for United. Nice one. Illy United says, Mr. Bean is better than Lindelof and Shitguire. I'd love to see Mr. Bean starting at the back for us, to be fair. That would be hilarious. Gashtastic. My mouse is gone. Let me turn it off and on. No, it doesn't work. Okay, that's fine. Dizzy Red Devil says a bit harsh at Dan Smith. Let's see what Dan Smith had to say if I go up. Sancho in, sell Rashford. He cannot hit a barn. That is harsh, man. Do you think we should sell Martial as well? Because if you're saying Rashford can't hit a barn, you're actually saying Martial can't hit a barn also. Because Rashford scored the same amount of lean goals as Martial last year, except that he did it from left wing and not striker. So Martial can't hit a barn just like Rashford then. Ashley Jenkins, any chance we could talk about anyone else besides effing Sancho? You're going to have to go to the start of the video for that, I'm afraid. But yeah. Alex Telles then. Alex Telles, maybe. Larion Beckford says we need a centre-back. Absolutely the case. Can't see us getting one. Lee Chapman, we need a striker and a winger. It's not a left-back we really need. I don't get it. Yeah, the left-back we didn't really need. It wasn't number one on the list, really. We got Dallo and Wan-Bissaka on the right. We got Williams and... of course, Luke Shaw on the left. You could definitely do with more cover there because we know what they're like in terms of injury issues and stuff like that. But it's not the glaring priority in the team. Centre-back is. You know, even a striker, somebody to take over from Igalo when he goes in January. A right winger, definitely. A CDM. So, yeah, we haven't played to our weaknesses this window. We've actually just added to the areas we're already reasonable in. So, yeah, I agree. It doesn't really make sense, that. Thank you so much, Brendy B. Comments, great to see you, Pig. Always have a great time listening to your content. Brendy B. Shout out, Brendy B, for that. That's very, very nice of you. Rich Pot as well, stopping by. Thank you, Rich Pot. Disco Dave in here, one of the channel members, showing that love with those love heart emojis. Get in there, my son. Nicholas Mwagera says, loading mouse, buffering. Zenith Clips comments, Rashford is the English Welbeck. Probably best to sell him and buy someone better like Joelinton. How can you be the English Welbeck when Welbeck is English? That doesn't make any sense, bro. He's the English Welbeck. What? Like Marcello's the Brazilian Roberto Carlos, you mean? That's hilarious. Anyway, Mr. Yola Man says most people under 35 are United fans, mainly because they won the league all the time. When the demography of fans around the world changes, the Glazers will have to sell the club or invest. It's an interesting point. You are seeing more and more Scouser shirts around and shit like that. Obviously, Glory does breed a lot of fans. That is true, you know, when people... And plus, great teams breed a lot of fans. That's the thing. If you're like especially a global fan, like if you're not from the UK or even from Manchester, in fact, if you're from Nairobi, like we've got a bunch of fans, shout out to all the fans in Africa, by the way, that tune into this channel. But like, if you're a fan over there, you probably would fall in love with the 90s side that Manchester United had, or the 2000s side that Manchester United had. If you were just getting introduced to the game and you watch the Premier League, you'd be like, wow, you know, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Cristiano Ronaldo, or whatever generation under Fergie, you know, to be honest with you. And you would fall in love with it. So that's probably true. I think you're right. I think you probably will see less United fans with how we have not been performing as well. And it's about the style of football as well. If we're not a great team, how can you expect people to fall in love in the same way when they don't have necessarily any affinity with United? It's a good point you make there, dude. They're just destroying this club from the inside out. Oh, yeah. Daz Reynolds says, what are your team predictions for tomorrow, Pig? I personally think he's going to go with Dean Henderson in goal, Brandon Williams left back, Mengi and Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Fred and Van der Beek in the middle, Rashford on the left, Bruno in the middle, Lingard on the right, and then Garlo up top. That's what I'm going for, guys. Get your predictions in if you want. Ashley Jenkins comments, Sky Sports News has gone kaput, and they've had enough of mentioning Sancho. What do you mean it's gone kaput? Is it broken? Declan Marsden says, you think we will still get Sancho? I do, because we're still pursuing him. And we would have moved on to a different target if not. I think we're just waiting until the last day of the season to get a cheap deal. That's where I'm at with it. And maybe we won't get him then and we'll just panic buy somebody else last day of the window. But I think that's our tactic. We are still in the pursuit of Jadon Sancho as things are right now. We're still trying to get him. We're just playing the waiting game, trying to save a few mil. Tensavala says, can we transfer out Ed Woodward and Matt Judge for Van der Sar and Patrice Evra? Oh, yes! I love this game! That would be amazing if we could do that. Hey guys, we've smashed 200 likes on the live stream, everyone. Thank you so much to you all for stopping by and getting involved with tonight's show. Please do us a favour if you haven't done so already. Smash that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome of you. Let's see if we can get to 250 likes come the end of the stream. The only way we're going to do that is if you, that's right, you, the person who sat there in your underpants who hasn't liked the video yet, that's her. That's the only way you can do that, is if you stop pulling your plonker for a second and smash that like button. Oh my God. Steve Buckley says, looking forward to the Brighton game, Pig? No, not really, to be honest with you. I'm worried about that one. They're looking okay and we're looking shite. So I'm a little bit worried about that one. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. I am a little bit worried about that one. We'll see how we do in it. It's obviously a very must-win game for us. All of these games are must-win for us now. But that one absolutely is a must-win game. What has happened here? You know what? I've got remote mouse on my phone. Let me do that out. That's a good idea. I forgot about that. I've got a remote mouse app. Let's hope that the remote mouse is open on the computer, though. That way it might work. So let me go on remote mouse and see if that works. Give me a moment, lads and lasses. This is a bit of a nightmare. My bloody mouse has shat the bed on me mid-stream. Yes, nice. I'm in. Brilliant stuff. I've got control over the computer again. It's a little bit messed up, but pretty sick, though, eh? Pretty sick, you know? You just got a little... That's a good idea, right? Okay. JP says, I'm in my pants, but I liked the vid and pulled the plot earlier, Pig. Thank you very much for sharing, JP. Really appreciate that one, mate. Little bit too much information, but, you know, appreciate all the info, bud. Disco Dave says, this is the #1 Manchester United channel. Accept no imitations. Hit that subscribe. Disco Dave, thank you, mate. Yeah, just to give you a rundown if you are new to this show, we've been doing this for 7 years. One of the original fan channels on YouTube. We cover all things United. I've only really started doing it proper full-time the last sort of year, really. What with lockdown and stuff happening, I didn't go back to my job. And also, I just started sort of knuckling down about October. I always did match reactions and stuff like that, but certainly live streams and all that kind of thing. I just wasn't really able to do with work previously over the last 7 years. But definitely this channel's growing. We've actually gone up a pretty insane amount, nearly 5,000 subscribers in the last month. So, if you weren't aware, we've actually gone up 5,000 subscribers in the last month. So, shout out to all the new subscribers who are getting involved. Shout out to all the old regular subscribers as well, and just everyone that gets involved with this show. We cover all aspects of United. We do all the watch-alongs for the games, all the match reactions, all the latest transfer news, and all the latest goings-on to do with this great club. So, that's the basis of it. If you enjoy this show, if you want to get involved with the community on here, it's a brilliant community of Bacon Brigadiers called the Bacon Brigade, who are awesome. Then you are more than welcome to, lads and lasses. Just smash that subscribe button and also click the like button as well. Nice one. Okay, I'm going to stick around for just a couple more minutes, trying to respond to everybody. So please do get your thoughts and opinions in very soon if you want me to answer them. Eddie A says, after watching that calamity on Saturday, I can't see us winning tomorrow, let alone win on the weekend. Dude, that Luton game is a potential banana skin. It really is. That could be a proper nightmare there. But let's hope we just smash them up and it's good practice for the weekend's game. Surely we got to smash them up. Bills fan says, Pig, you treat the peasants the same as the nobles. Very rare in YouTube. You're awesome, sir. Absolutely, dude. It's because I'm a peasant myself, dude. You know, I know how it is, bro. I'm just grateful there's people that are watching. And look, to be fair, look, that's the thing. When somebody sends in a super chat, it obviously highlights it and it pops up. And it's kind of rude not to read out a super chat when somebody's actually paid you to read their comment effectively, because that's what they're basically doing. You know, obviously they're showing their support, but they want their freaking comment read out. I noticed in the rant that I did the other day when I watched some of it back, I missed a couple. So if that was you, I apologise. If that was you guys, I apologise. But look, not everyone can super chat. This is a bloody horrible situation. I certainly try and stick around at the end of every stream to try and answer every single person's comment. It doesn't always happen that way. Palmarius, what's going on? Retracted message. Womb Weasel says, Pig, were you a butcher before you became full-time on this channel? No, I wasn't, mate. Do I look like a butcher? Is that what you're telling me? That's a bit harsh, mate. No, I don't really know what that means, but no, I wasn't a butcher, man. I was actually an Amazon delivery driver before I started doing this full-time. Charles Joseph comments, how is Jones still stealing a living as a footballer? It's because he does these amazing faces and he drives around in pink Lambos, so he's like built up some sort of a meme reputation. Becky Hope, Mrs. P's not too bad. She's also feeling a bit under the weather. So everybody please stick a love heart or a cake in the live chat for her. O'Keel Green, hello O'Keel Green. Good to see us. Tweaking House, thank you. Sheila Boy says, get Pig to 30k. Get in there, Sheila Boy. We're on our way, aren't we? We are on our way. Soccer Daily says, let's make Pig a 100k subscriber. Smash the subscribe and like button. Thank you so much there, Soccer Daily. Stevens Evans says, Goldbridge is quite dismissive of super chats. It doesn't really surprise me because that guy's a tool. Soccer Daily says, let's make Pig 100k subscribers. Smash the subscribe and like button. Have I already read that one out? I have, but thank you. Sportsfan7474 says, if a club offered 30 million for Phil Jones in exchange for 3 points, would you take it? Yes. 100%. 3 points in the bag. That's more points than Phil Jones is going to get you over the course of a season, so I definitely would. Thank you, Dan Smith. You're a top lad too. Yeah, the tweets, you know. Tweets, I'm not great on Twitter though, guys. Forgive me if anybody's tweeted me last few days. I'm really not good on Twitter. YouTube comments, if you come back and comment after a vid, I'll always get back to them. Usually at like 2 a.m. I'll just respond to everybody's comments. So if you want a reply in the comment section, come back after this video and comment in the not live comments. But Twitter, I'm a bit shit at keeping up on. Mr. YOLO Man has upgraded his membership to the Bacon and Egg Brigade. Thank you so much, Mr. YOLO Man. YOLO! Dude, that's awesome of you. Thank you so much for the support, guys, honestly. And Mr. YOLO Man, incredible upgrading your membership there. Not only was he wasn't even content with being the first tier member, he's had to join the second tier membership. You legend, Mr. YOLO. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Stevens Evans says he does look like a butcher. What? You want half a pound of bacon there, love? Jonathan Brifford says, Pig, I'm scared there's Woodward outside my house, but he told me that he's monitoring the situation. Oh, no. Well, he'll probably cock that up, mate. This is Woodward we're talking about. Zenith Clip comments, where did the name Flying Pig come from? Yeah, it's random, isn't it? It's just from my youth goalkeeping days when I used to play in goal. I was obviously a bit porky, even porkier than I am now, you might say. I don't know. I was always a bit, always loved my spaghetti. I was just a fat bastard, basically, to cut a long story short. But I was really agile and a good goalkeeper. And I used to fly around and, so I was called the Flying Pig. Yeah, that's right. Illy United says, Pig, we need to sell Phil bag of cement. Mr. YOLO, thanks so much for getting in here, dude, honestly. Vincent Bullock says, 29.4k subscribers. Get in there, my son. Come on, get in there. Showbass Patchacam says, Deadwood put his house on sale, running away from fire or getting fired. Spot on. Look at all these love hearts coming in for Mrs. P. Let's go. Oh, shit, man. What's going on? Ryan Berber with a super chat. He comments, how much would chuck if a would chuck would? Do you know what? Do you know how much would chuck if a would chuck would? I would say 2. You know why? Because it's not very much and he's quite an incompetent bastard. So I'm thinking only 2. Nice one there, Ryan Berber. Charles Joseph says, Slabhead is the next in line to Jones's throne. He could be the new Phil Jones. Dan Smith says, I go back to Charlton Best Law, Kid Styles. Wow, I'm still here. You legend, Dan Smith, mate. Going back into the old school, the glory days, the Holy Trinity, etc. Brilliant. Jonathan Gallagher, thank you very much for that, dude. VK Dean says, this season is already a disaster and we're 1 game in. Little bit extreme. Let's get some players in the window and then let's win the next game. And then we'll be looking a lot better. But I agree, at this moment in time, after the first performance, with only Donny coming in, it's looking shit. But yeah, let's get the other people in. Kevin Wrench says, this is quite possibly the warmest and friendliest United fan channel. Great content bid. Kevin Wrench, thank you so much. You're wrenching my heartstrings there, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, that's it. We just try and... look, I am fully aware I once started this channel. Go back and look at my first 10 videos, guys. There's 7 likes on them and 7 dislikes or something like that. No bastard was watching them. That's how it works on YouTube. And I've done this for 7 years to get it to the point where 350 people are watching me right now. You know? So I'm just grateful that every single one of you guys watches this channel and interacts with me. So trust me, I value your interaction more than you will know. Thank you guys for everyone who takes the time to watch and likes what we do here. You could say that Lucy Gale Braith, you know, whatever, it is what it is. The guy's a melt. Fozzie Ozzy says, oh, okay, we're all just having a go at him then, are we? Fair enough. I don't really want to do that on this channel, but no, don't do that, guys. Tushar Gupta comments, what the F is going on with our club? We need 3 more signings to compete for top 4. Forget closing the gap to top 2. Good point, Tushar Gupta. You're right. When you look at all the other positions that have been improved by teams, you know, Chelsea signing bloody 10 players or what it is, and Liverpool signing good players, and City and everybody else doing the business, it is going to be more difficult for United this year. Everton are up there. Wolves will be up there. There's a lot of teams, Tottenham, Leicester. These teams are all going to be fighting it out. So top 4. I think this is the toughest season for any team to get top 4. The toughest season I can remember. There's 8 or 9 teams that can really be fighting out for those positions. So yeah, you're right. Unless we get some quality, unless we close the gap in terms of quality on the pitch, we are going to struggle. Thank you so much for that, Tushar Gupta, you top lad. Tushar Gupta. Oh yeah, Tushar Mehta says Flying Pig. Sorry, I got confused there. I thought it was the same Tushar, but it's not. It's different Tushars. Tushar Gupta and Tushar Mehta. Mr. YOLO says, Porkies. Wait a sec. Oh, it's gone. Where did it go? Oh, no. Hang on. Shit. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, mate. I missed your comment there. It's gone. I can't see it now. I've lost it. Larian Beckford says, I think United should keep Chris Smalling. I think he is quicker than our 2 centre-backs right now. It's true. He is quicker. He's probably better as well. So, yeah, if we're not going to go and sign another centre-back, it might actually make sense to, you know, to keep him. But just goes to show you how shite United are, how bad our negotiations and transfer window is then, if we're actually turning to Chris Smalling, who was just on a season-long loan at Roma for being too shit at United. That's why he went to Roma. It wasn't for any other reason. They didn't pay us a massive amount of money. No, he was surplus to requirements and the offer came in. So we let him go. So it'd be quite something to go back and take a backward step like that to Chris Smalling. I don't want to do that, but I do think he's better than Lindelof, yeah. Thank you, Jarvis Cocker, mate. He says, if your life depended on a clean sheet, who would you play as centre-back? Smalldong and No Bones, or Slabhead and Lindelof? Hit 1 or 2. Everybody, smash a 1 in the live chat. Thank you, Jarvis. Smash a 1 in the live chat for Smalling and Jones, or smash a 2 in the live chat for Slabhead and Lindelof. Who would you have defending in your backline for your life? Jones and Smalling, smash a 1, or Slabhead and Lindelof, smash a 2. CB, how you doing? He says, Jesse Lingard to Tottenham, Daniel James to Swansea on loan is a good idea, Pete. Yeah, that is pretty cool, mate. You might end up going to Leeds, though, but yeah. Good shout. Charles Joseph says, Paul Pogba looks like a dancer, not a footballer. He hasn't exactly done too much in the United shirt. Jonathan Gallagher, you grew up in a great time then. He said, Pig, I grew up watching Ronaldo, Rooney and Tevez. Yeah, we were spoiled, man. I grew up watching literally, I got all of the best of it. When I was 5, it was 1992. So, you know what I mean? I grew up with all of the best of it, with the Andy Cole and Dwight York, and even before that, the Cantona and all the Kanchelskis and then the Dennis Irwin days and the Paul Parker and Steve Bruce and Palace. I grew up with all that shit, so I was so lucky. Brian McClare and all that. The 90s were the best, and the 2000s were the best as well, to be fair. Those were great days for United. I miss those days of those passionate rivalries in the early 2000s between United and Arsenal. That, to me, is the peak. That's, to me, is peak football. When you had that pure, bitter rivalry between Arsenal. You know, you're talking about Pizzagate and all that business. I loved it. It's so different now for United, unfortunately. Alan T says, you're only young, Piglet. True, mate. We've got a little bit of growing to do before we get into our full piggy size. Savulon says, yawn. Good morning. How you doing, Savulon? Great to see you, pal. Or love, I should say. I don't know. Are you a man or a woman, Sar? I can't really see your avatar, but either way, great to have you in here. Daniel Luciano. Hey, it's only Daniel Luciano. It's great to see you, Daniel. Everyone, if you're just getting in here, it looks like there's some of you just getting in here. Please smash the thumbs up on it. Let's see if we can hit 250 likes before we end this stream. We are going to end this stream very, very soon. I'm just trying to respond to a bunch of your different comments here. Tushar Meta says, man, you were lucky. I started supporting United around 2011 because before that I never paid attention to football and I was a twat. Hey, no worries, Tushar. You got to start somewhere, don't you? You just happened to start at one of the worst possible times. At least you got to see the Premier League win and that sort of stuff. But yeah, if you've only been a fan since 2011, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Daniel Luciano with a super chat, dude. Thank you, Daniel. Wow. He comments, legend, tough start, but not pre-season and no backing. That's what we get. Truly think it will only get better from here. Can't get worse, of course. Daniel Luciano, Pavarotti, mate. Thank you so much for that, man. Yeah, you know, you're a legend too, mate. And you're right, because there was no pre-season, we haven't really got the pace up in the team, the conditioning, the match sharpness. Because there's a big difference to playing training games and playing in a match, proper, intense Premier League game. And we need to get that back up. Solskjaer himself, after the game, said we need 4 or 5 matches to get back to good fitness and all that sort of stuff and match sharpness. Gabriel Lopez says, watching on replay. Yeah, that was pretty... Those were good days, to be honest. Even you had to admire somebody like Thierry Henry. Cress Welsing says, Pogba is good, but he was always been overrated even after the World Cup. I miss those days. I miss the 2000s, really. When, you know, like when Chelsea had Drogba and stuff like that. It's like everybody had such good teams, but it's just different back then. It just seemed different. I don't know. Maybe it's just because United were that bloody good still. Hamad Malik says, do you miss the rivalry against Leeds? Me personally, no. I think it's going to be interesting to see that rivalry again this season. I don't miss the rivalry. I hate Leeds, so I always liked the fact they were in the Championship. Steve Buckley says, I was in the 70s supporting our great team. Top man. Yeah, with days of Willie Morgan and all these sorts of guys, and the Strachan and the like. One Weasel says, sell Phil Jones and with the transfer fee we can get a Fredo. Mate, maybe half a Fredo. We might have to also sell Jesse Lingard to raise the money for a full Fredo. That's what I think, One Weasel. Matt Rush says, Super Chat Pig. Oh man, whose Super Chat have I missed? Have I read them all out now? Let me go back up and see. Daniel Luciano. Thank you, Matty Rushmeister, by the way, for keeping me up to date here. What the hell's going on? There's another one as well. Jesus. Guys, thank you for getting in here and showing the support tonight. Pretty incredible the amount of super chats you've sent over this evening. Like all of you and all your questions and just everybody else who's not super chatted as well. Like, thank you. I do kind of want to leave soon though, but you keep bloody sending super chats over. Daniel Luciano says, 5 hours behind. Really appreciate the late shows, you legend. Always a great community to tune into you. You're so right, Daniel. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, this community is second to none in my opinion. I know everybody says that about their community, but I do truly believe that. Like, we have so many committed regular viewers. We have lots of sound people. Everybody's just so nice on this channel. Of course, there's a couple of dickheads here and there. You know who you are. But most of us are all sound on this channel, you know. And we've got great moderators that do a fantastic job of making sure this live chat and this community stays all cool and safe and everything. But that's so nice of you, Daniel Luciano. Thank you very much, dude. Jeanette Pugh's getting in. Hello, Jeanette. Mustafa Abdullahi as well. Good evening. Becky Hope. Mr. Miyagi's born in 89, supported United since 92, so you saw all the best years of it as well, yeah, absolutely. Simon Cowie comments, the current generation and future generation need to be patient and calm down and take the hard times and the good. Fair play to you, yeah, I mean, look, we do, it's not all going to be success. We will never see a period of success like that again at this club, ever, I don't think, not ever. So if you're using that as a standard, we've got to be a bit more realistic. We're never going to generate 13 league titles in 26 years or whatever. Just not going to happen. Matt Rush says 241 likes. Get in there, my son. So we pretty much hit 250 likes. We haven't done so yet. Let's do it, though, by smashing that thumbs up button. Cheers, guys. Disco Dave says, best channel ever. You're a legend, Disco Dave. Thank you. I do have an Instagram account, Soccer Daily. It's called Flying Pig United. I think it's in the description. I can't remember now. If you click the link in the description, you should be able to find my social medias. Also, check the website, flyingpigunited.com. Mr. YOLO Man comments with a super chat saying, super chats for life. Dude, Mr. YOLO Man, thank you very much, my friend, for that. Crikey. What the hell's going on? Eat, Sleep, United Repeats is fairly new to the pig life, and it's a good and easy kind of watch. Get in there, Eat, Sleep, United Repeat, mate. What a nice comment. RP0D comments, pig, mate. Did you watch the Rio clip yet? Told you about it last night. I honestly haven't, actually, my friend. Could you possibly... What did you tell me about what it is again? Yeah, nice one, Dan Smith. Ryan Martin says, will there be any big developments tomorrow, mate? We're hoping so. Probably not tomorrow. I'm thinking the next day that we'll get some real concrete stuff done. I think I imagine we'll get the business done with Porto tomorrow or the next day in terms of wrapping things up in the final negotiations and agreeing the fee and everything. And then I do think that we'll get the medical and everything done before the weekend. That's my hunch. But this is United we're talking about. We don't do things quickly. So maybe not, but that's my hunch. MBG says, born in 03 before Ronaldo was signed and became a fan in 07-08. Nice. So you've seen, you saw a good team then. You've seen, 07-08, obviously 2008, you saw the Champions League then. Cresswell saying, armchair rivalry pig, Leeds v Man United with no fans, lockdown. Pig, go to bed, man, you're tired. You're right, yeah, in terms of the rivalry. Yeah, but you just see, there's going to be the social media is going to go mad. I know what you're saying, like, there's not going to be fan rivalry at the ground, no. But there is going to be this serious hatred on social media, mate. I'm telling you, wait for that watch-along, guys. We do the watch-alongs on this channel for the game. Wait for the Leeds watch-along. There's going to be abuse galore from Leeds fans. I'm going to have to hire double the moderators after that for that stream. You know what I mean? It's going to be Leeds fans galore coming in there with all sorts of scummy quotes. Just wait and see. Daniel Luciano comments with a super chat. Super chat to read to keep you on longer. Oh my God. Daniel Luciano, man. Thank you very much for that, man. Oh no. Ryan Burberspin9 says apologies to JP. Oh shit. Says apologies to JP and the PDL. Jonesy is a beast. Ryan, did you dare say anything bad about Phil Jones? Oh no. They're never going to forgive you now. But anyway, no, that's brilliant, then. Ryan Burberspin9, thank you, mate. Yeah, they'll accept your apology. They're not going to hold grudges. As long as you've admitted Phil Jones is the Messiah, then they'll be fine with that. Nicholas Critchlow, thank you very much for that, dude. 244 likes. Legend. Mustafa Abdullahi says Lindelof is rubbish. Dizzy Red Devil, you have a great evening. Good night to you too, Dizzy. Thanks for stopping by. Top class lad. Or lass, I don't actually know. I'm guessing you're a lad, though. Where's my money? What's going on? Matt Rush says, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, Matt Rush. Jonathan Gallagher. Rio couldn't say goodbye to the fans because Woodward told him he's not getting a new contract after the game. Oh, yes. I've heard about this. What a freaking disgrace. What a disgrace. Asan Akhtar says, Evra proper ripped into Woodward. He won't be able to sit properly. Very true. Steve Johnson says, great channel, pig. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much, Steve Johnson, for the super chat, man. Madness. Really appreciate that and great message. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you, Steve. Asandar says, pig, you remember me. Love you, bro. No homo. Nice one, Asandar. I definitely do remember you. Pankash Palhawani says, we weren't getting Sancho, piggy. Don't dream, bro. Yeah, wait till the end of the window. We'll see. I mean, I'm still 50-50, but I'm thinking, why are we not pursuing any other players? And why are we still linked with the hot pursuit of Jadon? We still want him, don't we? He's still a target for us. Primot! He says, I'm out of here. Best luck with the computer, pig. Cheers to BB. Thank you, Primot, man. Yeah, it's humming like I don't know. Like, it's humming like David Moyes' daughter when she's out on a night out with Wilfried Zaha, if you know what I mean. Anyway. Blendy says, hey, pig, did you see Evra's statement? Yes, I did, Blendy. I've gone over it. I think it's spot on, and I think it just goes to highlight how shite United's negotiators are and how shite our board is in general. Cami Mahmood says, let's get Kaka out of retirement. Well, he was a quality player for a period, wasn't he, that guy? Really quality. When he was at AC Milan, tank. With Ronaldinho and stuff in that team. Oh, what a team. Those are the days. Brendy B, thank you guys. Mustafa Abdullahi, Pankash Palwani, Showbas Pachakam, Soccer Daily. If you can make me a mod if you want. Hey, to be honest with you, Soccer Daily, you have to get in the Telegram app. We've got a Telegram chat, and you've got to be pretty active and stuff like that before you get. But if you are active for a good time and stuff, you never know. But it's pretty. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work goes involved with it. Alan Rogers, thank you, mate. You have a great evening. Camille Mahmood, thank you. Isaac Nilsson says, don't think we'll get Sancho at this point. If we don't, I'd rather we just decided now and went on and moved on with another target, to be perfectly honest. Showbas Pachakam, Charles Joseph. Right, okay, guys, I think I'm going to have to wrap this one up. Ago Kelly, great to see you, says, tell us we come to you Man United this week. I'm pretty sure that he will, yeah. I'm pretty sure we'll get him before the Brighton game. Couple of days to get the negotiations all done and dusted and finalised. Couple of days to get the medical and paperwork done, and then he should be a United player. So get in there, my son. It's not done yet, though, but hopefully. JP says Kaká still looks 19. Yeah, he does actually. He always looked like a little boy when he was playing those, so that makes a lot of sense. In about 40 years, he'll just overnight turn and he'll look about 80. That's how it works, isn't it? All the young ones, as soon as they get to a certain age, they just start to look old. Even Gary Coleman. Remember Gary Coleman? He was like the youngest looking dude ever. But as soon as he gets to like 50 or something, just turns into an old man. It's weird, man. Anyway, nice one, MJ Gamer. He says 251 likes. Come on, my son, get in there. The holy grail of 250 has been reached. No, that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for getting in here and liking the video. Really appreciate it. Really, thank you very much. I am going to wrap this video up now because I've got to get on. It's late and I've been rambling on a whole lot, and it's nearly midnight actually. So thank you to you all for stopping by and getting in here tonight for tonight's show, though. Becky Hope, MJ Gamer, Steve Buckley, JP, Ryan Martin, you have a cracking evening as well. Thank you very much for getting in here. Illy United, Mustafa Abdullahi, Ryan Burberspin 9, G Wolf United, Matt Rush, Dan Smith, Disco Dave, Where's My Money, and Soccer Daily getting in here. Illy United, Mr. YOLO Man, Charles Joseph. Thank you guys. Steve Johnson, Jonathan Gallagher, Asan Akhtar, Mark Voot. Absolute legends. Thank you so much. I've just got to get this remote mouse up on my thing as well and close it off like that tonight. Larian Beckford, Stephen Hollian, thank you. Ago Kelly, Dan Smith, Mustafa Abdullahi, Illy United, Mark Voot, Dan Smith again, and everyone else. That's going to be it from the pig tonight. Oh, is that what the green is? Was there a fly buzzing around me all the time? Piss off, mate. Do you know what I mean? Fucking flies do my head in. I don't know if you can see that, but he's after me, this prick. Where's Aaron Wan-Bissaka when you need him? Aaron, come on, dinner time, Aaron, Aaron. All right then, Adam Asquith, hello to you, Adam. Thanks for stopping in here before we stop. Kelly Clough says, thanks for doing this. Take care. Right back at you, Kelly. Thank you for commenting, getting involved and interacting. Legend Kelly. Grazie says, Twanzibi over Lindelof any day. Spot on. Stephen Holian, Asan Akhtar, Showbas, Soccer Daily, Tushar Mehta, Tushar Gupta, Charles Joseph, G Wolf United, Adam Asquith, Disco Dave, Ago Kelly. Right, guys, that's going to be it from me. Please do us a favour before you go, though. Smash that thumbs up button, leave a cheeky little like rating on the vid, that will help us out loads. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, click subscribe, click the bell to be notified when we go live. You can also check the website out, some great United articles on there. Shout out Griffo Chaz for doing a lot of the articles as well. FlyingPigUnited.com, all the links are in the description to the social media. Follow me on Insta, Flying Pig United, Facebook, Flying Pig United, and also Twitter, Mr. Flying Pig HD. I probably need to change that actually. Gabriel Lopez, thank you. Johnny Gallagher, Matt Rush, Mustafa Asan Akhtar, G Wolf, Ryan Burberspin 9. Shout out to all the mods again tonight for doing a cracking job. Have a great evening all. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, with some really good news update in the afternoon for the transfer show. And then it's watch along time tomorrow night, Luton Town. So come along, watch along the game with me. I'll see you there. It's 8:15 kickoff, I think it is, off the top of my head. So come there, B square. That didn't really make sense, did it? But come here then. That's what I meant to say. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. This is the pig. I'll see you on the next one. Red Devil, stay classy. Henry Sealby. Who else haven't I mentioned? Stephen Hodian, Craven Moorhead, Adam Asquith, Vincent Bullock. That's it. That's it, guys. Tushar Mehta, Illy United, JP. It's the pig. I'm out of here. Come on, United. Sort yourself out, potato boy. MBG, Brandon C, mate. Oh, you're getting in here at the end, guys. We're just finishing the vid. You're going to have to go back and watch it. But please do us a favour. If you are here, hit the like and come back in a few minutes and comment as well, guys. That's also good. I'll respond to you soon. If you come back and comment anything you discussed or anything we discussed in this video that you want to have your say on. This is the post-match credits. Big God Bob, shout out to you, Big God Bob. This is the post-match credits. IRA Sunday, shout out to you. Sorry, IRA, we're just finishing. But you can go back and watch the start of the vid. Get involved, smash the like. Ashley Jenkins as well, I do, matey. And everybody else. Please smash the thumbs up button. Shout out to all the Patreons and Tier 2 channel members such as Mr. YOLO Man, who will be added to this list very soon because Tier 2 channel members and patrons appear on this post-credits to say thanks. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a cracking evening. I'll see you tomorrow for an update in the afternoon around about 2:30 time to do with Manchester United and then latest transfer goings on. And of course, we've got the watch along tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow. Adebayo farewells as well. Thank you for stopping by. Becky, Hope, JP, everyone. This is the Pig. I'm out of here.